All right, so I watched fucking Thor, Black Panther, Spider-Man, all of Ash vs. Evil Dead. I have had no time to record it all, so I'm kind of behind, so I got a lot of reviews to do. Let's get to them, but before we do, I got a package here from Guillermo Canales again, man. This guy is hooking me up. Let me tell you what. Thank you to him big time. Let's get this open. I don't want to spend too much time. I don't want to like blow through it either so that he doesn't get the recognition that he fucking deserves for sending me so much shit. But okay, we got like packages inside packages here. So I just appreciate this shit so much, guys. Seriously, when I get this kind of stuff, it's so cool. Hey, The Possession of Michael King. It's just a regular blank shirt with just the text on it, but how cool. It's an extra large, so it's a little big for me. But regardless, I love this flick, man. It's a found footage movie. This guy thinks that everything is bullshit. His wife dies, and he is so pissed off that he decides to go out and prove that the afterlife and everything is bullshit. So he goes and he has like voodoo rituals, every imaginable thing done to him so that he can prove that it's all BS. And man, it's such a cool flick. I have it on my lesser known found footage flicks, which is still my most watched video. That thing still gets tons of hits all the time. So thank you for that. Hopefully I can get this open quickly so that we don't have to. It looks like it's a signed some picture. Well, not signed, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Oh, it is signed. It is The Blair Witch Project, signed by Eduardo Sanchez and Dan. Oh, what's his name? Myrick. I know the names. How fucking cool is this? Signed by them? What? And he also got me the Drag Me to Hell posters back there, signed by Allison Lemon. Oh, Jesus, there's some reflection on it, so you can't really see it. But how fucking awesome is this? What a cool dude. Holy crap, man. I have the best fans. I really do. You guys are incredible. So, Blair Witch Project. Love all three Blair Witch Projects. Fight me on it. I don't care. Okay, thank you. Possession of Michael King. 2 found footage movies. I guess we connect on found footage. I still gotta watch your other movies too. I reviewed one of them, but I got the other ones to get to. Okay, so thank you, Guillermo. That was fucking amazing. As always, I really do appreciate it. I think that's everything. Yes, it is. Awesome stuff. So, let's move on to Thor Ragnarok. Alright, so when I heard the title Thor Ragnarok, the first place that my brain went was Gwar. Anybody big fucking, like, if you're my age, and you listen to metal, you probably remember Gwar's Ragnarok. I loved that damn album. Surf of Sin, Meat Sandwich. Like, I fucking loved that damn album. Gay Warriors Against Racism. That is... They're not known for their music, but I loved it, and I will say that Surf of Sin is an amazing fucking song. I don't give a shit what anyone says. The New Plague is really funny. Lots of really good songs on that album. Anyway, but Ragnarok. Anybody else with me on that? All right. So we got this opening here where Surtur, however you say this battle with him and Thor. This Tico Waititi, I think is how you say his name. When he came in, he definitely changed this franchise, this Thor franchise here pretty drastically. The tonal shift in this is pretty dramatic. And probably injected some much needed life. Even though I do really like the first 2 Thors, this one far surpasses them in my opinion. I know that there are people like my buddy Jean-Philippe who didn't laugh one single time. And that I can completely understand that because it has a certain comedic element to it. And if that doesn't land for you once, it's probably never going to land for you. And that I hate that. I hate when I'm in a movie where all the comedy falls flat for me. it's fine if everyone else is liking it. That's great because, you always want to have people enjoy themselves. But I completely understand if that kind of humor isn't your humor, if you're not liking it. But this movie is so much fun. I remember right after I watched this again, I put online, like, if you didn't have a blast watching this movie in theater, you've got to be fucking dead inside. Because this movie is just so much fun, and it's so visually stunning. It's got the gorgeous Cate Blanchett in it, who just seems to never fucking age, and just seems to get hotter and hotter as she gets older. But we got the Searcher battle here in the opening, and we got Scourge up there, and he's taking over for Heimdall because Heimdall's a traitor, and he's trying to impress these girls with destroy, and Thor finally comes through and he brings a dragon's head with him and it covers them all in goo. This one's definitely feels more, along the lines of an MCU film. Not saying the first two didn't, but this one feels more in line with it. It might even be a little more humorous than other entries in the MCU. It's probably one of the most humor heavy entries. I would say maybe Ant-Man or something, or Ant-Man and the Wasp are really the only other films that go for such, Guardians of the Galaxy, I guess, is really comedy heavy as well. So I guess it kind of fits in line with those films. But I really, really do like the humor in this. But we have, as I said, we have Scourge here, played by the amazing Karl Urban, or as I know him, Eomer, or you can have him as Dread, which is another fantastic movie, and they really, really need to make a sequel to that. I heard about a television series or something. Hopefully that happens, because there needs to be more Dread in the world. Yes, it's very similar to The Raid. I don't care. It's badass. He's also Bones in the new Star Trek movies. Karl Urban is a badass. Do love when he decapitates the dragon. It literally covers these girls with this, like, gross thick blood. It's so gross and fucking hilarious. The Loki statue that he builds while Thor's away, and then he comes in and Matt Damon is there playing Loki, giving this dramatic performance, giving this account of like how Loki's the hero. Oh, that was pretty funny stuff. And then Thor exposes Loki. Like, he figures it out like that. There's no time for Loki to play his tricks throughout this movie. They get right to it. Thor's like, okay, no way Odin would do this. Grabs his head, puts his freaking head in front of his hammer, and just waits there. And then he has to, of course, bring himself out, or he's going to kill him, which I thought was pretty damn great. And then we find out that Loki just left Odin, okay? Fucking Odin in a nursing home. And when they get there, the nursing home has been torn down and Doctor Strange has to come in, which is cool because at the end of Doctor Strange and the cutscenes, we get to see a little sequence from this movie. I love how closely tied together these are, and that you get little glimpses into what's to come. And it is actually the same scene. It's just kind of cut differently, but it is the same stuff. And then all the stuff with Doctor Strange and Thor and Loki is just hilarious to me, where he just keeps throwing them around the house. And then he's like filling up his beer, and he drops Loki, and Loki finally comes out and he's like, I've been falling for 30 minutes. I can't remember what it was that I watched where they fall down this pit, and it's like an endless pit, and they're just falling forever. And I just remember thinking, like, that would be so horrible to just fall indefinitely until you starve to death, or I don't know, like, how long could you fucking... I'm assuming that your body would probably drain itself of its energy, or you would pass out eventually. I don't know what would happen if you just continuously kept falling. You'd hit terminal velocity, and then you would just stay at that speed till you died and just kept falling. I don't know. It's always tripped my mind out. So when he said I was falling for 30 minutes, I don't like the feeling of falling. I've went on those rides where they just go up and they drop you. I've never jumped out of a plane or anything, or jumped a bungee jumping or anything. But I have fallen, and I do not like the feeling. Does nothing for my stomach. So to think falling for 30 minutes, I was like, that is horrid. But Loki fucking deserves it. And he's a god. He can take it. So Thor and Loki get to say goodbye to Odin. So Odin does finally pass on in this, and this is when he dies, that gives Hela, Thor's sister, the ability to come back and kind of spark what's going to become Ragnarok. And then Thor throws Mjolnir. How do you say the hammer's name? Whatever. He throws it at her. She catches it like nothing, and then just fucking crumples it like it's a toy. And they get in the Bifrost. They're fighting in the Bifrost, and then the biggest plot hole ever comes into the movie. But it's a Marvel movie. You kind of just got to look past this stuff. It is super annoying. But so Loki falls out of the Bifrost like a minute or less before Thor does. And so Thor gets finally pushed out of the Bifrost as well. And that is when he lands on Sakaar, right? That's the name of the planet? Yeah, Sakaar. So he meets up with Loki, who's been there, and he says he's been there for weeks. And Jeff Goldblum's character, the Grandmaster, says, oh, well, time moves differently here. If I would have been on Earth, but the time I've been gone, whatever, I'd be millions of years old by now. Okay, if that's the case, then that means that the Incredible Hulk, who's been on the planet for 2 years, would have been there for thousands and thousands of years, like 100,000 years or something by that term. If Loki's been there for weeks, in a minute, 2 years would be millions of years. And then that I don't like that. I don't like that the time thing, that just doesn't make any sense. I think they just did it so that Loki could have already been in with. There's a better way they could have written that in. Because then you start moving into, so other planets, they're actually going to account for the time differential between planets, like in Interstellar, when they go down on the wave planet, they're there for like 7 minutes, and then when they come back up, it's been like, 10 years or something he's missed of his kids' lives, which is one of the saddest fucking scenes ever. Him watching those like holovids or recordings or whatever, and he's crying. Oh my God, I was a mess. But it's such an annoying plot hole, because you're like, you can't explain it away. You just can't. The Incredible Hulk has been there for millions of years. That's just dumb. So, yeah, annoying. It doesn't matter. Anyways, all right. So, and I lost my place because I got so into that. So he lands, he's weakened because he doesn't have his shit. The army comes in, and here comes Valkyrie, which her name is Valkyrie in the credits, but she's a Valkyrie. She's not Valkyrie. So what is her name? Did I miss it in the movie? He probably said it, but I looked in the credits after and was like writing names down. And I was like, Valkyrie? She is a Valkyrie. So she's a Valkyrie named Valkyrie? I don't think so. So I guess that is her name. Maybe she took it on after to live on with the title and whatnot. But if you're trying to hide who you are, you probably don't want to name yourself after what you were. So I don't understand that. Anyway. So Grandmaster wants him to fight. This obviously is similar to Hulk Planet, from what I know of that comic. And Hela, we find out that Hela is the one that helped Odin build Asgard. That he essentially, needed her for all the battles, and then once he decided he was going to change his ways, he booted her. Which, yeah, that would fucking piss off anybody. Like, it's cool for us to go murder everybody, but now when you want to change your ways, then I have to get kicked out? No way. So I get where she's coming from, but then coming in and completely massacring her own people. She tried not to, and they were like not having it, so she, had to lay waste to him. She really did try to give him a chance, but they were not gonna let it happen. And she goes down and she resurrects her army under the city, which is a really cool. Everything visually in this movie is just stunning. I love the use of bright neons. You guys know how much I love neon. Hulk, always Hulk. Hulk talks so much in this movie. We don't get to see Hulk say but like a couple words in all the other films combined. And so in this one, he's talking like the entire time. and he's talking like he's brain dead, so he really isn't all that bright. But yeah, so Thor actually beats Hulk, and Master cheats. Now, if Hulk would have stayed down and beaten, I don't think so. I don't know. I think, and I love when he wakes up and he's like, "Who won?" Or no, when Banner comes out and he's like, "Oh, I beat you easily," and he's like, "That doesn't sound right." Fucking Thor and his ego. I love it. And yeah, they say Sokovia was 2 years ago. He flew into that thing almost instantly thereafter. He's been there for 2 years. It's just, that's annoying. And Black Widow is what pulls him out of Hulk mode, which makes sense because she's the only one that's been able to get him out of there. So her little video projection there pulls him out. They have the Hulk party in the street, which I thought was really cool. Everyone was wearing green. Everything was painted green. They were throwing green shit around. They were all wearing Hulk masks. And he's like trying so desperately to stay from hulking out. And while everyone around him is like bumping into him dressed like Hulk. And he's like, "Don't worry, you won't ever have to be reminded of the Hulk again." And then Valkyrie goes and she recruits all the gladiators, and that's when she brings in the Rock guy. Can't remember his name, but he's hilarious. Bye, New Doug. Oh, the fact when he just keeps calling him New Doug, and then later in the movie, like towards the end, the dude that's with him, and he's like, "Oh no, he's dead. I was just carrying him around because I felt bad." All that stuff, like every word that guy says is hilarious. So yeah, it would suck if you didn't find that funny, because then this movie probably would be very cringy, and I could understand, not liking it, because this really depends on a lot of humor. The action's amazing, though. There's such good action, and there's such good use of freaking, the Led Zeppelin song in here. That's great stuff. And Loki tries to betray Thor yet again, but finally Thor is the wiser here and has the upper hand and does defeat him and leaves him being shocked for a very long time. But then Loki comes back with the gladiators and kind of saves the day again. So Loki is just so unpredictable. He's the god of mischief, right? He's always mischievous. So I guess it makes sense. I guess Valkyrie, they're kind of setting her up here as the new love interest. Now, I'm really looking forward to watching Avengers Infinity War again, because I haven't seen it in a while, and I have never watched all of these in a row and then that right after. So I will be looking out for everyone. But I know that all the people on this ship in that movie are dead, besides like Hemnal, Loki, and Thor, and they kill the other two, and then Hulk even gets his ass kicked, so he's on board. So Valkyrie dead? I don't remember. I'm sure she is, but they kind of make her the love interest in this. So we get the Hela versus Thor fight, which is pretty badass. We got the army protects the Bifrost because all the guys are running across. Hemdall coming down and protecting all the people in the streets and rallying them together and taking in all the refugees. Awesome. Such a great use of a great character. Love to see that he got more screen time here, and love to get to see him do something awesome. To see him grab that sword and kick people's asses. Awesome stuff. And the Immigrant Song. That's I was trying to think of it the whole damn time. And then the wolf comes on the bridge, and fucking Hulk jumps off, and he flies. And this kind of takes us back to the Incredible Hulk movie with Edward Norton, when he jumps off and he doesn't become Hulk, and he just hits the ground and then he crawls out. Same thing here, but it's done much more comedically. He just bounces off the thing and just lands dead, and everyone's like, okay. And then he comes and Hulk grabs him from behind. It's such a hilarious, awesome moment. And then you get Wolf versus Hulk, and they made the right choice of Hulk versus Wolf in the sense that he didn't kill the wolf, because people have a problem with dogs getting killed in movies, and I completely understand. So he just throws him off the waterfall, so we don't really have to see him rip his mouth. I mean, we don't have to have like King Kong where he breaks the freaking T-Rex's jaw right back and then plays with it. That was gnarly. I don't think we could handle that with a big wolf like that. Asgard isn't a place, it's a people. Great line. And when he resurrects freaking Surtur and brings on Ragnarok to his own city, leaving Hela behind so she can fight him. And there's this huge fight between him and even that gladiator dude's like, oh, you know, as long as they're good foundation, and then the whole Asgard explodes, nothing left at all. Fucking hilarious and kind of sad, and it just leaves you out there with like, oh my god, Asgard is gone. Thor has no home, and they're like, all right, it's time to go to Earth. We have Scourge's redemption here. He goes and he tries to he takes some people out and he jumps down, and he totally has his redemption there, and I like it. And yeah, I think that's it. Thor is king of Asgard on the ship. So as Asgard is exploding, that's when Thor actually becomes king, once Asgard is gone. So he's finally king of Asgard when Asgard doesn't exist anymore. Interesting. And then Thanos' ship, pulls into screen, and it's like, oh shit. Let's get to Infinity War. So, all right. Anyway, I got Spider-Man Homecoming and Black Panther to get to before that, and I got to get right to that. So, I'll see you there.